You're gonna think that you didn't do the video.
Hey everybody! We're here to talk about the new Deadpool movie! So yes, we just saw Deadpool 3, aka Deadpool and Wolverine.
3.
What did I say?
Oh, no, I'm doing 3. I'm doing the 3.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine, starring Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool.
And me
as
Wolverine.
Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. Alongside them are Stefan Kipichik as the voice of Colossus, Morena Baccarin as Vanessa Carlyle, Karen Sony as Dopinder, Leslie Uggams as Blind Al, Rob Delaney as Peter, Brianna Hildebrand as Negasonic Teenage Warhead, Shioli Kutsuna as Yukiko, Louis Tan as Shatterstar, and Randall Reeder as Buck. And any other casting would be giving away surprises in the movie, I would say.
Yeah, like, what was his name?
We're not saying.
That played, you know the one I'm thinking of.
So the other big thing is this movie was directed by Sean Levy, who I've seen a lot of his movies, evidently. He directed Big Fat Liar, Just Married, Cheaper by the Dozen, 2003, Pink Panther, 2006, Night at the Museum, Night at the Museum, Battle of Smithsonian, Date Night, Real Steel. Hey, that's another Hugh Jackman movie.
Yeah.
The Internship, Night at the Museum, Secret of the Tomb, which he was also in that one as well. Free Guy, which was a Ryan Reynolds movie. The Adam Project, and now Deadpool and Wolverine.
Bub.
So yeah, those are majority of his films. I skipped one or two here or there. But yeah, I've seen most of those movies, so it was kind of wild. But yeah, going into this movie, I did my best to avoid as many spoilers as possible. I did not watch any of the trailers. Like, if it had anything to do with anybody but Deadpool and Wolverine being in it, I didn't want to know. And I was pleasantly surprised because there was so many things that happened in this movie that I was like blown away by. And being we saw it as one of the earliest showings available, we had a packed theater, and so many of the people in the theater were big fans. And whenever there was a big character reveal, the whole crowd went wild. So it was really cool. So anyhow, let's hear, what are your thoughts on the movie?
I like the part where Thanos showed up to collect the Infinity Stones, and then Aquaman came out of the water. No, seriously, no, I liked it a lot. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of what I expected. I really didn't know what to think of it. I mean, what the storyline could have been going in. Mm-hmm. I heard of a lot of cameos. I didn't hear some of the silly ones that Takanko heard, like, rumored. That were just there as a joke. But I had heard of a few that just did not appear in the movie. At least one of them got...
Should we say what the ones that aren't in the film?
Yeah, you could go ahead and say, like, obviously Steve Urkel's not in the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve Urkel... what did I say? Mickey Mouse and the Predator do not appear in this film. They're sort of not appearing in this film.
Yeah.
So if you had your hopes up for any of them, I'm sorry to disappoint you.
There were silly rumors, and then there were serious ones. There could not be... so many people just threw cameos out there. I'm going to tell you, if you have a favorite X-Men character that's not Deadpool or Wolverine... the chances of them showing up are less than...
Okay, I mean...
there's a lot.
I do have a favorite X-Men character other than Wolverine. Like, I even drew artwork of them a long time ago.
Yeah.
And they were in the X-Men 97 show.
Yeah, sure.
That one.
But the thing is, like, there's a good chance they won't show up in the movie. So don't hold your breath. You're like, oh man, I really love that one character. And he's probably not in there. Alright? Not everybody can cameo.
Also, a lot of the returning characters from previous movies got to be played by their original actors.
Yes, I think the majority
only
of returning characters.
One off the top of my head was replaced because his actor declined to be in it.
Huh.
Or something like that.
Not familiar.
But, yeah.
I know one of them got canceled.
Oh, that one too. But that they're just not in the movie.
Actually, there was multiple that got canceled.
Oh yeah, the other guy that was in the first two
I'm
movies.
not gonna say. I'm not
That
gonna
guy.
say it. But...
Yeah.
oh gosh, there's
Is that
even more
what
than
you're talking about? Okay.
No, there's
Yeah.
only 3 people.
Yeah, there you go. Well, times have changed so much since
all these movies came
since
out.
the start of this franchise here. But yeah, we can go over who's in the movie in the spoiler section. But yeah, in this movie, Deadpool finds Wolverine, and they go on. They do a little fighting. They fight each other. They fight others, and lots of great comic book action happening.
The cat guy from One Piece.
Yes, Captain Kuro. But anyhow, definitely worth seeing if you're any kind of an X-Men or Marvel fan. Also, it pays to be a Marvel fan. There's a lot of stuff that's either references to the comics, references to past movies and shows. So yeah, definitely pays to be well caught up on the franchises here. But I don't think, if this was you've never seen any other movie, you would still have fun. This is still a very entertaining movie, despite the lots of fan service.
There's a lot of swears. Don't bring your kids.
Oh yes, this is definitely
bring your kids.
a very R-rated movie. They even have fun Red Band silence your phones segment before the movie.
That was pretty good.
Which it seems like they're planning to use it for more than just this movie. But yeah, that was fairly interesting. I guess maybe other R-rated movies are using this around this time. But we've been seeing mostly family-friendly affair before this one, so definitely had not seen it until now. Anyhow, it picks up pretty much where the last movie left off for the most part. There's a few direct references early on to the events of the ending. But this movie is its own thing.
This movie's its own thing.
Like I said, all the major characters from the previous movies, make their return, and I don't know what else. What else to add to this?
There's a lot of characters that return. There's a lot of fun action scenes.
Yes.
They do not skimp on the action.
Gore.
And it keeps and the gore.
And
it
the
keeps
swearing.
it going for the whole movie. It's very true to Deadpool. It probably has the storyline. I feel like flows a little better than some of the other movies, but it's definitely a much broader scope than the first 2 Deadpool movies.
Yeah.
Snick.
But yeah, so I guess we can start going into spoilers now.
Spoilers.
So yeah, spoilers.
Also, I was thinking I could be am I Azure? I can't be Wolverine. I'm a combination of Wolverine and Azurine, known as Azurine. Yeah?
Wolverine and Azurean to become Azurean. Maybe, I don't know.
But anyway, yeah. So spoilers, Deadpool's in it.
And Wolverine.
But all
is in
the
it.
Deadpools.
Yes. All the comic book Deadpools show up.
A lot of them came. We should even that's kind of early. We're running the whole thing. That's right at the end of the movie.
Well,
See you later, folks.
And darn it, where is the thing? I found out that Ryan Reynolds' wife Blake Lively plays Lady Deadpool. But so if we're in spoiler territory, if you're watching this part of the video and you haven't clicked off, then oh well, you're getting spoiled.
No, we've already spoiled.
Jennifer Garner shows up as Elektra 19 years after she last played the character in her ill-fated spin-off of Daredevil. Jason Fleming reprises his role as Azazel 13 years after X-Men First Class. Chris Evans reprises his role as Johnny Storm 17 years later. Wesley Snipes reprises his role as Blade after 20 years. Aaron Stanford as Pyro from X-Men X2 and X-Men The Last Stand for the first time in 18 years. Let's see. Kelly Hu as Lady Deathstrike, who is 21 years absent from the franchise. Ray Park and Tyler Mane have them all beat by returning as Toad and Sabretooth from the first X-Men after 24 years.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Also,
Ray Park, also Darth Maul.
yes. Also, unfortunately,
And he was an X versus Sever.
Unfortunately, a Cable is also not appearing in this film, although he was very disappointed he didn't get to be there. Also, Channing Tatum shows up as Gambit.
Yeah, that was a surprise for me. I'd heard a lot of different cameo news, and some of it I had forgotten, like Blade. But like Channing Tatum showing up as Gambit was great.
And a very comic accurate outfit.
Yes, comic accurate. He had the crazy. He had the accent.
Yeah, they even made fun. I was like, I can't even understand what you're saying. I didn't have trouble.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was nice that he actually got to play Gambit, and he was definitely unique compared to the other live action Gambits. He is, I believe, the third one. So.
Also, there was a mention that the ending of Logan was not going to be touched. They had said that the movie was going to take place before, and it takes place after, obviously.
Yes, it takes place after. The whole the movie opens up, and the whole intro is him dancing to was it the Backstreet Boys?
Oh yeah.
While he's mutilating all the TVA agents with the adamantium skeleton of a very dead Wolverine.
Yes.
There was one part that irked me, and I looked it up, and it was when he snapped the rib off.
Oh,
I'm like, how did you break the adamantium?
Yeah,
he broke the lower rib where it connects via cartilage to the spine.
Oh,
or like, so he actually
smart.
did. Yeah, he actually did remove a piece that should come undone. Like when he took the arms off, he's disconnecting them at the joints. So it actually does make sense. I guarantee you some people are going to be like, he couldn't do it. That's not right. How did he snap the adamantium? He didn't. He disconnected it where it connects to the rest of the skeleton.
All right.
The bottom two on each side.
I was like extremely minorly irked by that. So thank you for clearing that.
I was initially. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm pretty sure there's other parts. But anyway, yes. So it was a lot of fun.
And Cassandra Nova showed up in the movie, played by Emma Corrin.
Yeah, she is. For those who are not aware, she is Professor Xavier's twin sister. They fought in the womb, and but she still somehow managed to get born. She was managed to be born, I think, in a similar way that. Dr. Venture gave birth to his brother.
Yeah. So
I don't know. Don't quote me on. You know what? Quote me on it. So yeah, I'm exactly right. Leave my comments.
The actress Emma Corrin was previously Lady Chatterley and Lady Chatterley's lover a couple years ago, and she played Princess Diana of Wales in The Crown. So yeah, those are like her only like real big claims to fame.
She's still fairly young. She's got a lot left there.
She is 28.
Yeah. So anyway, the whole movie is about him trying to save his sacred timeline. A timeline. Even though they kind of abandoned the sacred timeline idea in the show and Loki, the TVA. There's just basically rogue agents. Like, you know what? Everybody else gave up on this, but I still kind of like it, so I'm gonna do it. And he's going to prune the timeline that Deadpool's from.
Mm-hmm. Because they were going to take him out of it before he did it.
Because it's like, they took him out. They're like, we're going to delete it. It's like, it'll die on its own anyway. But
it'll die.
I just feel like destroying it.
But it's going to happen because the Prime...
Yeah,
the Prime character or whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But like...
At first he was like, wait, but I'm alive, so you don't have to worry.
Being Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine from Logan.
And that's why the movie opens up with him. It picks up, they did a little bit of time rewinding.
Yeah, just like they did in the original.
Yeah. And it's like, oh yeah, he was trying to save Wolverine to fix his universe. He's like, oh no, he's still alive, he's going to have been regenerated. It's like, no, he's just very, very dead.
Yes.
And the whole thing is him trying to save his timeline while some of the rogue TV agents are trying to destroy.
Oh yeah. Also, what's his name? The other director guy, Happy Hogan.
Oh yeah, I always forget his real name. But he was in it as the new Happy Hogan was basically a bigger hunter. I thought we already knew this in previous movies. he had worked his way up the corporate ladder, and he has a little bit more stature. And they do a flashback where Deadpool's trying to get on the Avengers team in another universe.
Jon Favreau.
Yeah, Jon Favreau. He wants to get on the Avengers team in another universe, and he's like, no. And they do a couple like references. They even have one of the toy Iron Man helmets in the background.
Oh yeah. The one that the kid wore.
Yeah.
I think.
So
but also Hunter B-15, played by Wumi Mosaku from Loki, is also has a fairly sizable character in the story.
Yeah.
Not fairly sizable. Well, she's important in the story.
Oh yeah, and they're basically spend the majority of the movie.
Oh shit.
On the whatever they call the void planet where all the people get zapped by the TVA end up going.
Yes.
That is where the majority is spent, and you get to have all wonderful crossovers, original cast member. Like from a bunch of different previous movies, and that's how they're all able to come together. They pick the heroes. Well, basically everybody's supposed to be from a forgotten movie. Like they haven't been thought of for a while. So you had Elektra and Blade and a lot of other characters. A lot of fun. No surprises. By the end of the movie, he's able to save the universe.
You see that?
Yeah.
Did we mention those two? Okay, we won't mention them.
We can. I mean, whatever. Just go through the list. Okay, fine. Well, because, whatever. There's not... It's your video. What are you doing here? You've been pretty quiet. Usually I can't. Usually I'm not able to talk during your videos. Well, anyway, hey, some cameos. Matthew McConaughey voiced something. And
the Cowboy Deadpool.
Okay, I couldn't see that. And Nathan Fillion did the voice of Headpool. I thought it was, it was a lot of fun. Like I said, save the universe and all that. There's a lot of jokes. There isn't much to say about it. He gets stuck in another universe.
They did a lot of Mad Max references.
Yeah. And there's some surprise cameos here and there, and some, pretty obvious cameos, and it was a lot of fun. I especially like how there was this line in one of the previous movies where Wolverine said he was going to kill Sabretooth, and he's like, I'm going to try cutting his head off, see if that works.
Yeah?
And something like that. I'm still
yeah.
But what was your favorite,
Oh, man.
either moment or gag of the movie?
Oh, man.
I know my favorite
tough
gag.
One. I don't know. Maybe all the jokes about Hugh Jackman being extremely sexy still. Especially since they did the gag in the first movie where he wore his face because he was sexiest man alive at the time.
My absolute favorite gag in the movie.
Sorry to cut you off. Just briefly, apparently Hugh Jackman had retired and had to get back into shape to play the role. And he was also worried about his arms, so they actually had his sleeves at first because he was worried about getting sunburned. Anyway.
But I think my favorite gag of the movie was at one point they go into an alternate. He goes through a bunch of different universes trying to find a replacement for Wolverine.
I know
at the beginning, and my favorite one was the comic book height accurate Wolverine, still played by Hugh Jackman, but they used CGI to make him much shorter. I friggin' loved that.
What do you want, Bob?
But it did look absolutely silly.
Yes.
But it's mostly, I think it's largely looks silly because that's not how we were introduced to him in the cinematic universes. So, and we haven't really seen it before.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But I thought that part I absolutely loved. It's like, okay, you know what? It looks a little weird, but I still kind of liked it.
Also, really dug the tribute they had at the end to the whole
all the backstage
Fox,
stuff.
all the Fox Marvel movies got basically a tribute reel showing behind the scenes footage and stuff of all the actors, and Hugh Jackman even talking about what it was like to be portraying this character for the first time, and how he was like, anytime there is an accident, it's not my fault. It's the costume.
Always the costume.
It's always the costume. But anyhow, yes. If you've seen this movie, which hopefully if you're at this point of the video you have, what did you think of the film? What were your favorite parts? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, we'll be doing another birthday video on next Friday. We still have to talk about Anthrocon at some point. We also recently saw the Inside Out 2 and Despicable Me 4. So we have those to talk about. Maybe we'll try to watch some of the other. I know you finally got to see the first one right before we saw the second one. But maybe we watch Despicable Me 3 and maybe even one of the newest Minions movie, which I hadn't seen. So we can talk about those as well, potentially. But in any case, until then, we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, God, that's not supposed to come off.
Bye.